Ever wondered why so many traders just lose? It's a huge question, right? Well, today we're going to dig into Bennett McDowell's book, The Art of Trading. He tackles this exact problem, and his answer kicks off with one pretty shocking number. Yep, 90%. The book says that's how many traders actually lose money. Think about that for a second. That's a staggering figure, and it forces us to ask a really important question. So, what's going on here? Why are 90% of traders failing? This is the question at the very heart of the book. And the answer, well, it's probably not what you're thinking. McDowell says it starts with the very tools we're all taught to trust. All right, so let's get into our first big idea here, the myth of indicators. We're going to talk about why your favorite trading tools might actually be lying to you. McDowell has a great name for them: dangerous opinions and indicators. See, his whole point is that these common tools, things like MACD or stochastics, they don't give you cold, hard facts. What they do is create opinions in your head. And trading based on an opinion, well, that can be a recipe for disaster. Okay, let's see how this plays out in the real world. The book lays out a perfect example. Your indicator spits out an opinion. Hey, the MACD shows a bullish divergence, so the price should pop. So what do? You buy. But then, reality hits. The price just keeps on dropping, and boom, you're looking at a big loss. The indicator didn't give you a fact, it just gave you an opinion, and a wrong one at that.
And it works the other way too. Let's say your stochastics indicator is screaming that the market is overbought. So your opinion is, okay, I'm not touching this. But the reality? The market goes on a massive 10-point run-up, and you're just sitting there, watching it happen. This time, the tool didn't just lead to a loss, it actually stopped you from getting a great win.
So all of this leads to one of the book's most provocative ideas. Ready for this? There's no such thing as overbought or oversold. It's a myth. The book says prices are exactly where they're supposed to be. The only thing that's real is the price on your screen. Everything else is just a fantasy, a story we made up. Okay, so if we can't fully trust our tools, what's left? Where do the pros focus their energy? Well, that brings us right to our next point, mastering your trading mind. Because according to this book, the real battle isn't on the charts, it's inside your own head. And this quote just nails it. Traders who fear failure will ultimately fail. It's so true, isn't it? It's not really about picking the right entry point. It's all about your psychology. That fear of losing, it makes you cash out of a winning trade way too soon. And that fear of missing out, or FOMO, it pushes you to jump into trades you know you shouldn't. Your own mind becomes your worst enemy. The book actually maps this out as a kind of psychological chain reaction. Look at this. It all starts with your thoughts. Those thoughts then shape your core beliefs about trading. From there, your beliefs fuel your emotions, we're talking fear and greed. And finally, those emotions drive your actions in the market, which creates your results. It's a chain. If you want to change your reality, you can't just change your actions. You have to go all the way back to the start and change your thoughts. So if the tools can lie, and our own minds can play tricks on us, what's the solution? How do you actually win at this game? Well, this is where the book introduces its core philosophy, the art of reality. Now let's get one thing straight right away. The ART method is not some black box system that just tells you when to buy and sell. The book is super clear on this. That kind of holy grail just doesn't exist. So what is it then? Well, ART stands for Applied Reality Trading. And it's all about combining two critical pieces, the science of a solid technical system and the art of your own mindset and skill. It's not trying to replace your skill. It's a framework to help you build it. The book has this fantastic analogy for it. It says trading is a lot like playing a musical instrument. A master trader doesn't just have a good instrument. They integrate their beliefs and skills with that instrument to create music, right? A Stradivarius is just a block of wood until a virtuoso picks it up. Your trading system is your instrument, but you are the artist. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you put it into practice? That brings us to the practical blueprint for building a trader's discipline. And the foundation, the bedrock of all of this, is one simple, non-negotiable rule. Always set a stop loss. This isn't just about protecting your capital either. It's about building a psychological safety net. It's what lets you trade without being paralyzed by fear. And that stop loss is your shield against all the big, scary risks the book talks about. You've got market risk, those black swan events. There's margin risk, where you could end up owing your broker money. Liquidity risk, where there's no one to buy when you need to sell. And of course, overnight risk, when the market gaps against you while you're sleeping. Being disciplined just means accepting that these things are real and preparing for them.
So how do you build that discipline? The book gives you a couple of really practical tools. First, there's the Sunrise Trading Journal. This is basically a daily brain dump to get all the noise and distractions out of your head before the opening bell. Then there's the Contract for Success, which is exactly what it sounds like, a written promise to yourself that you'll stick to your rules. These aren't just cute ideas. They're like exercises for your brain, building up that mental muscle you need.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now in our final section, the path to mastery, where we integrate the art and the science of trading.
So what's the end game here? What does it really take to become a master trader?
Well, according to the book, a master trader is someone who operates in the zone. They're not being yanked around by fear and greed anymore. They develop this almost intuitive feel for the market because they're tuned into the reality of price action, not the fantasy world of indicators.
And it all circles back to that core idea we talked about. The master trader integrates his beliefs with his system to create desired results. See, the whole point isn't to find some magical, perfect system. The goal is to build the inner strength, the belief in yourself that lets you execute your system perfectly every single time.
So I'll leave you with the same powerful question the book leaves its readers with. Take a hard look at your own trading and ask yourself, is it based on reality or is it based on fantasy?